Like I said before, y'all, ignorance is a choice. Black Hebrew Israelite ignorance is something you don't want to be associated with, or nor something you want to pick up, because it's going to definitely leave you in a ditch. And showing from this video, it's going to leave you in a ditch at a young age and leave you blind at a young age, and also blind leading the blind. I'm not going to lie, this video really upset me because these Black Hebrew Israelites teaching these kids at a young age that people from other nations can't be saved, when the Bible don't even teach that. They affecting this man's mind at a young age. He don't even understand what they doing to him. He just simply going off of what these ignorant buffoons over here saying. So I can't even blame him. But I will blame the ignorant buffoons like Nathaniel and these other people who are teaching these young men that, because they themselves are ignorant, or they're intentionally adding or throwing away scripture to fit their hateful narrative.
Did you know that God does not love the whole world? What did he say? And we're going to start off by reading John 3:16 to understand which world Christ was really talking about. This is the book of John chapter 3 verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So which world is Christ really talking about? Because according to Hebrews chapter 1 verse 2.
What I want to say is, I want to apologize and I'm sorry, my young black brother, that you have to be subjugated to this doctrine. This is a satanic doctrine, and it's being taught to you. It ain't people, doing all of this and all that other stuff, and, all the other stuff that goes along with, devil worship. It may not be that type of, form of teaching, but this is still demonic teaching. Telling someone they can't go to heaven because of their skin color, basically. That's the same thing we was fighting on here. That's the same thing the Black Panthers was fighting because of my skin color, I can't do this and that. And we're trying to flip it and make it a spiritual thing now. Well, excuse me, not say we, you. I'm going to show scripture debunking this young man, but then also I'm going to show how ignorance is a choice, but then also how you don't want to pick up Black Hebrew Israelite ignorance, people. Stay away from it, because it's going to leave you in this position or this position, one or the other. And you don't want to be in either or. All right, look, people, if we look up the definition of world, the earth, together with all of its countries, peoples, and natural features, all of the people, societies, and institutions on the earth, denoting one of the most important or influential, people or things of its class. So now that we've seen that world applies to everybody on planet Earth from the definition of the word, let's see how the God of the Bible feels about how Israel should have treated foreigners back in the Old Testament. And this is Leviticus 19:33-34. When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, when a foreigner, you shall not do him wrong. You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you as the native among you. So treat that stranger, that sojourner, as one of your own, as if he was your own brother, own sister, cousin, whatever the situation may be. Now watch this as well, though. It even goes further than that, because the verse ends up saying, and you shall love him as yourself. So not only must you treat him as your kin, as your brother, but you should love him and treat him the same way you would want to be treated. Now ask yourself, is the Black Hebrew Israelite doctrine and philosophy and mindset something that applies to Leviticus 19:33-34? I want to leave that up to you to answer, but if you ask me, I don't think so. Deuteronomy 10:18-19. He loves the foreigners who live with our people. Wait. Brody, the young man, said that, he only loves Israel and everything of that sort. And, he's only going to save Israel. What does Deuteronomy 10:18-19 say? He's talking about God the Father. He loves the foreigners. It's not talking about Israel, and it's not talking about them being scattered, because they're all together in this book. So look here. The foreigners are the other nations, the Gentiles. And it says he loves the foreigners who live with our people and gives them food and clothes. So then, show love for those foreigners, because you were once foreigners in Egypt. Zechariah 7:9. Do not oppress widows, orphans, foreigners who live among you, or anyone else in need. Numbers 15:16, I am the Lord, and I consider all the people the same. Let me read that again. Numbers 15:16, people. I am the Lord, and I consider all people the same, whether they are Israelites or foreigners living among you. This verse right here, this one, all of this, but especially Numbers 15:16, doesn't agree with what these people be talking about. Romans 1:16, people, the righteous shall live by faith. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone. Let's look up the definition of everyone. The definition of everyone, people. Every person. Everyone. For salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, and then also the Greek. Psalm 22:27, all the ends of the earth shall remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations shall worship before you. Galatians 3:8, in the scripture, foreseeing that God would justify the Gentiles by faith, preached the gospel beforehand to Abraham. So the same gospel of Gentiles by faith was preached to Abraham. And it says this, saying, in you shall all the nations be blessed. How was this fulfilled? How is all the nations supposed to be blessed if only one was supposed to be blessed? From the mindset of a black Hebrew Israelite. How could that be fulfilled? How do you fulfill this? Because Jesus did. Because he paid the price for man's sin. Then after the Jews' ignorance and rebellion and not accepting Jesus and then also not accepting his apostles, the Gentiles were grafted in. Isaiah 49:6, he says, it is too light a thing that you should be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to bring back the preserved of Israel. I will make you as a light for the nations, that my salvation may reach to the end of the earth. What did it say? That my salvation shall reach to the end of the earth.
So which world is Christ really talking about? Because according to Hebrews chapter 1 verse 2, there's many different worlds. We have animal world, plant world, sports world. We have all these different worlds. But which world is he talking about?
What have you ignorant buffoons been teaching these young children? That did not make any sense. In the slightest way. Any type of manner you want to put it. That did not make sense at all. This is why I say ignorance is a choice, but don't pick up that black Hebrew Israelite ignorance, because one of these ways you're going to end up in. All right, in Hebrews 1:2 it says, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. So you're telling me that Jesus made the sports world? That stuff is not sticking. Yes, he created the animal world and he created us, but that's not what it's referring to. Let's look at Hebrews 1:2. But in these last days he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, and through whom also he made the universe. So he didn't just make this world and, the other ones we see in the sky and everything of that sort, but he created other universes as well. This just doesn't stop at us. Now right here we have the parable of the lost sheep, and it's told both in the books of Matthew and Luke. And in Matthew 18:10-14 it talks about Jesus tells the parable of the lost sheep, comparing God to a shepherd with 100 sheep. The shepherd leaves the 99 other sheep to search for the lost one, and rejoices more when he finds it than he did over the 99 that stayed. Luke 15:1-7. Jesus tells the parable of the lost sheep and uses the example of a man with 100 sheep who loses one. The man leaves the 99 other sheep in the wilderness to search for the lost one and rejoices when he finds it. Look here. This parable is telling us that Jesus created other universes, other worlds, other people, other planets, but he left them to come save us. So this verse right here, when it's talking about worlds, it's talking about those other sons of God. Because remember how I talked about in Job, the sons of God met with him, and then also talks about Satan coming. Those sons of God are those other worlds that didn't sin. Those are the people that didn't sin.